I'm Julia Woods, marriage coach and trainer, and I have been married for 35 years and walked with a lot of couples in the work that I do in looking at marriage. What is it? What difference does it make in our life? And one of the things that concerns me greatly is that the narcissistic tendencies are growing. Hi, I'm Julia Woods. I am a marriage coach and trainer, and I have been married for 35 years. I get an opportunity to work with a lot of couples and look at marriage. What is it? What does it actually do in our heart, in our soul, in our lives, in the lives of our children and our grandchildren? And I believe that there is a current myth that marriage is outdated. It is going to be a major disruption to us as human beings if we don't start talking about the deeper need for marriage and what it is. There is a common theme right now that marriage is outdated, that marriage was in existence for societal elevations and for survival needs. Like men needed women to bear children to help do the work around the plantation or the farm, and women needed men to provide for them and do the hard, heavy labor they couldn't do. And that's not needed anymore. Men don't need women to bear children for them. They can adopt children if they want. They can live with someone, live under common law, and have children. Women no longer need men to provide for them. Women are rising in statistics and out providing men. And so that has brought about this belief that marriage isn't really needed. And as the divorce rate increases and more marriages are failing, it's really easy to believe that marriage is outdated. There are two things that are drastically increasing in our world that I believe are cause and effect in my experience in my own marriage and in working with lots of couples and researching what is happening in our world. One of the first increases that's happening is narcissistic tendencies. Narcissistic tendencies are growing at a high rate, especially in college students. We live in a very narcissistic world, and that has become a big trigger word. So many people reach out to me and say, my spouse is a narcissist. This therapist has diagnosed my spouse as a narcissist. Narcissism is real. It is on a scale. It is on a spectrum that you can wind up in the disordered aspect of it becoming who you are. All of us as humans have narcissistic tendencies, and those tendencies are growing at an alarming rate in our world. I mean, self-absorption is at an all-time high. Children are learning from birth to be on camera. They are learning to look in the mirror and see themselves in a way that is about getting other people to like them. Life is about getting likes in this day and age. You can have everything you want at your fingertips. You can have customized shampoo and same-day delivery, and everything is about me, myself, and I. Self-absorption is growing at an all-time high, like never before. So what's wrong with that? Well, there is some significant research and some significant results that I have watched in my own life, in my husband's life, in my children's life, that are extremely alarming. When you live in self-absorption, the more you live in seeing the world, which is our natural tendency as human beings, right? Our natural default tendency, the moment something isn't going the way we want to go, we look outside of us. We look for someone or something to blame because we don't want to take responsibility. We don't want to look at what we're contributing to what's not working in our life. We want to look as though life is happening to us, rather than an opportunity to develop self-control, self-responsibility, self-observation, self-growth. Instead, we like to look at life from everybody else being the problem. And poor me, this is happening to me, and this is uncomfortable for me, and I don't need to deal with any of these things that are uncomfortable. I just want to look good, feel good, be right, and be in control. This is at the heart of what self-absorption creates. It creates a very empty, lonely, meaningless life. It creates a lot of damage in relationships. It's really hard to connect with someone who thinks life is about them. Empathy decreases, and it's really hard to have empathy when life is all about you. Overall, your well-being becomes very limited. You externalize your dopamine. The more self-absorbed we become, the more we externalize our dopamine, and life begins to be about what I do to make me look good, feel good, be right, be in control. What I do to get likes, to get a following, tune in and see what my life is all about. Now, that drives addictions, because addictions are the aspect of, I don't want to feel the suffering of life. True life is about the real, honest suffering, being in the hard challenges of life. Hero's journey. If you don't know what I mean by hero's journey, just on YouTube, research Carl Jung, hero's journey. That is what life is about, growing the hero in us, growing the character in us to stand in the challenges of life and let them develop us. Let them deliver us from our own selfishness. Let them free us from our self-absorption. And when we don't let ourselves feel, we don't let life do that. We don't feel the deep suffering, the sorrow of the loss that daily comes in our life as human beings, the loss of our desires, the loss of relationship, the loss of what I thought was going to happen that isn't happening. That is the way that we actually grow, is by feeling. But in self-absorption, we learn to not feel. Then we externalize our dopamine and get addicted to things that give us a false sense of dopamine, whether it is work that we go and we achieve in order to get approval, whether it is scrolling on social media and comparing our lives to others, whether it is putting things on social media to get likes, whether it is spending, whether it is alcohol, whether it is working out, whether it is drugs, whether it is sex, gambling. All of these addictions are the outflow of self-absorption, because we need things to make us feel good, because we haven't experienced the joy that comes out of the mourning of sorrow. That is what I experience is happening in this world of self-absorption. And while that research is showing a high increase in self-absorption and narcissistic tendencies, there is other research showing loneliness as the biggest epidemic of our day and age. I believe those are increasing as cause and effect. The more self-absorbed we get, the more lonely we get. If you want to search the loneliness epidemic happening in our world, it is deeply grievous. The amount of people, they are now needing to train postal service and delivery services how to know if someone behind that door that they're delivering mail to every day has passed away. Because the number of people who are being found dead by postal deliverers is increasing at an alarming rate, because people are so disconnected. They don't have family that they're connected to. They don't have friends that they're connected to. They don't have a spouse that they're connected to. The closest person to them is the person that simply delivers the food and the packages and the mail to their door. This is unheard of in our history. As human beings, we are relational creatures. We are designed for relationship. Relationships are like a root system that go down deep. And the deeper my relationships are, the deeper I'm connected to life, the deeper the meaning of life, the deeper the reason I jump out of bed with excitement, understanding my value, my purpose, and my calling in life comes out of deep relationships. It is what I do for another that creates the deepest meaning of life. If you don't believe me, I invite you to do your own research. Begin to give yourself to care and to love for another without needing or wanting anything in return. I'm not talking about being a doormat. I'm talking about deeply needing and being needed. Marriage is a unique relationship. It is the only relationship where you can give yourself to needing and being needed in the way that only marriage offers. Marriage is where you're going to get to see the darkest side of a human being and the lightest side of a human being. That is a very unique opportunity to wage war on self-absorption and narcissism. Because by nature, you're going to want to judge that other person. You're going to want to see the darkness in them and ignore the darkness in your own. And you might be saying, well, marriages are failing, so why would I step into that? Well, in the work of coaching couples and in being married for 35 years, I am getting a front row seat to how self-absorption and narcissism is a key element, if not the biggest element, in what is destroying a couple's marriage. And I'm also seeing it as the greatest antidote. When a couple will truly give themselves to needing one another, this is the problem with self-absorption. You learn to need no one. You learn to believe that you need no one. My husband and I grew up in homes where we learned it was unsafe to need the people that we were designed to need. We came into marriage with a self-absorption mentality, to not need each other for anything other than opening jars, help with the kids, and the day-to-day tasks of life. It completely destroyed any sense, any depth of root system. The societal norms, the need of survival in our marriage, it was not enough to keep us in our marriage vows. What has brought us to a depth of needing in our marriage vows and calling us to deeper meaning and value in life is learning to truly need one another. And I don't mean the needing for physical. I mean the needing for emotional. Being able to bring our weaknesses to each other. Being able to bring the darkest parts of ourselves that we have feared our whole life. If you really knew me, you wouldn't want to be with me. The power of needing another human being that you can feel safe exposing the darkest parts of yourself has brought an ability to develop our character, to show up reliable with each other, working hard at this marriage in a way that the best future is, that daily we are choosing the self-sacrifice that makes a future together the best choice available to us. It is calling us to a meaning and a purpose in our life that neither of us have ever experienced. It is bringing us into wanting to serve each other and need each other. daily, emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually, needing each other as a partner to really negotiate and to protect and to preserve this beautiful gift that each of us are seeing living in our authentic self, not our false identity self, not the self that we think is going to be liked, but the self that is real, the self that is authentic. I want to invite you to a gift of marriage that I had never known before. It is coming out of authenticity. It is coming out of deep vulnerability. It is coming out of daily showing up with each other in the most honest and vulnerable conversations, sharing with each other, what is it that I don't want you to know about me today? What is it that you are really feeling, and what are you feeling that about? What is it that I need from you today? And how can I serve you today? This is just a glimpse into some of the deeper ways that we are connecting and needing each other. If it is, would you share in the comments below what is making sense to you? Are you intrigued by this sense of what marriage might be that is not really being talked about? If you want me to talk more about this, would you give this video a thumbs up and share in the comments what is there for you? I want to invite you into a community that I have been developing of couples who are learning to need each other. If you're looking for more of that, there is a link to that. This is not a sales pitch. This is simply a desire to connect with couples who believe in marriage and want something more. If I can serve you in that way, that link is available for you. Thank you for making it this far in this video. Would you please let me know if this matters to you and you want to talk more about it? Thank you so much.